measure the success of a conference according to the noise in the room in between sessions, and also the unwillingness to come back to the session, because it means that you have a lot to discuss. And so I think this is a very successful one. I also would like to congratulate the organizers. They've been so extremely good in organizing bad weather this morning. Because if there was bad weather this morning, we were in the room, and they have now orchestrated beautiful weather, the boat tour afterwards, which is quite magical. So thank you so much. You've seen on the screen just before, and also on your name tag, that you can access all the photos. So I would like to already thank the photographers for the wonderful pictures that you have shared with us on a daily basis. You can have access to them by scanning the QR code, and you will have them all. But before I take the floor really to introduce the speakers, I would like your attention for a little video that the university has prepared to actually be kind of a recollection of these two very good discussion days. So the video first. Much of the communication material that we've been given will be used around the world to communicate about the success of this conference. And we look forward to tagging you on LinkedIn or other platforms that are used here and everywhere to be in touch also in the future, because I believe this conference is more of a conversation starter than a conclusion of an initial project, and I really hope that there will be much more to be working on together. Before closing the conference, which I've been invited to do, and it's an honor for me, I would like first to invite Francesc Pedro to come to the floor. He's, as you know, the director of the UNESCO International Institute for Higher Education in Latin America and the Caribbean. Francesc, the floor is yours, with a difficult task to try and grasp some conclusions from this event.
Thank you. It wasn't so difficult because I requested the support of ChatGPT. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, it is really an honor for me, as a representative of the UNESCO International Institute for Higher Education in Latin America and the Caribbean, to stand before you today, approaching the end of this wonderful international conference on promoting lifelong learning in higher education, from institutional strategies to practical implementation. I'd like to use a few minutes to highlight some of the most challenging and at the same time promising reflections we have shared on the transformative power of lifelong learning and the role of higher education in addressing the pressing global challenges we have discussed over the past 2 days. Our conference on the role of higher education institutions in promoting lifelong learning has been a journey of insights and collaborative thinking, aiming to further advance policy and practice, exchange views on crucial issues, and ultimately reshape the future of education and global progress. I would like to summarize our fruitful discussions with a striking question. What is the role of higher education institutions in an increasingly volatile and dynamic world, where lifelong learning is essential for comprehending the world's complexity and realizing at the same time our full potential in life? Some possible answers, just a few of them, not all of them. First, as we have seen, higher education institutions are pivotal in addressing both current and emerging sustainable development challenges. They act in this direction through their core 3 missions: education, research, and social engagement. Universities develop inclusive courses catering to diverse age groups, establish governance structures that support sustainability, and actively participate in international collaborations to advance sustainable goals. As educational leaders, universities set examples by embodying sustainability values and practices, which in turn inspire and educate their local communities. Lifelong learning opportunities and the provision of micro-credentials in particular serve as essential tools that enable universities to engage the broader community, ensuring that sustainable development education is accessible to all. Second possible answer, higher education institutions in China, but worldwide, play a significant role in the development of their local communities, their cities, if you wish. The connection between these institutions and their host cities is paramount for expanding lifelong learning opportunities. This linkage gains added strength when we consider the concept of learning cities, where cities actively promote education for all members of their community. In line with President Wei Jia's insight, universities serve as fundamental pillars in the establishment of true learning cities. They seamlessly connect national and societal development with local level initiatives, transitioning from individual endeavors to comprehensive resource integration and communication. Third, higher education institutions are focal hubs for upskilling and reskilling programs in a job market that moves at an unprecedented fast pace. As the professional landscape continues to undergo rapid transformations, universities continuously promote skills development. Through a diverse range of academic offerings, they facilitate not only the acquisition of new knowledge and skills, but also the adaptation and enhancement of existing ones. Through research and innovation, they contribute to the development of cutting-edge learning technologies and methodologies, furthering the effectiveness and efficiency of societal developments. In this context, higher education institutions stand as indispensable cornerstones in the promotion of continuous education and professional growth. Fourth, higher education institutions can play a crucial role in educating people of all ages on how to use generative artificial intelligence responsibly. We need leaders who can navigate artificial intelligence growing impact, experts in addressing technical challenges, and a well-informed public. By focusing on lifelong learning, leadership, technical expertise, and public awareness, we can maximize the benefits of artificial intelligence while mitigating risks. Additionally, fostering collaboration between technology and the humanities is essential to ensure that artificial intelligence follows a responsible development. While shifting from learning how to use generative artificial intelligence to learning how to learn with generative artificial intelligence, we need to teach students and university staff to ask critical and analytical questions to use generative artificial intelligence at best, all while upholding strong ethical standards. Fifth, higher education institutions must adapt and adopt a more inclusive approach to cater to the changing needs and aspirations, in particular of older learners. The presence of older adult students on campuses and in classes promotes a sense of inclusivity and respect across generations. Intergenerational learning can play an important role in combating ageism. Universities, as a bridge between lifelong and international learning, offer unique opportunities for both older individuals seeking knowledge and younger generations eager to gain new insights. To support this intergenerational synergy, universities are urged to focus on lifelong learning as a human right, empowering older adults through lifelong learning, especially in the context of aging societies. However, this requires commitment from governments to establish policy and funding mechanisms to make lifelong learning opportunities available to wider groups of older adult learners. Such policies should facilitate the ability of higher education institutions to provide access to socioeconomically disadvantaged and vulnerable groups, as this represents a common barrier to older adults' engagement with higher education. Ultimately, higher education institutions can nurture knowledge, competencies, and skills necessary for climate action. Achieving education for sustainable development requires a comprehensive institutional transformation, encompassing a shift in institutional culture. This transformation necessitates the development of specific skills and competencies such as future thinking, system thinking, critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving, alongside fostering values like community care, responsibility, and commitment to the common good. For universities to effectively integrate sustainability into their curricula and raise awareness of environmental issues, it is essential to break disciplinary boundaries through interdisciplinarity. Once again, collaboration with diverse stakeholders, including private, public, civil society, and social organizations, helps to leverage a more holistic and inclusive approach to sustainable education. Approaching the end. In leading this international conference, we must go back home with a firm commitment of underscoring, always and wherever we are, the transformative potential of higher education institutions in promoting lifelong learning. In these 2 days, we have explored, among other themes, the role of higher education institutions in sustainable development, upskilling and reskilling, micro-credential recognition, artificial intelligence and digital tools, climate action, community engagement, older people's learning, and intergenerational learning. The insights and practical examples shared by all of you have significantly enriched our common understanding, and I believe will be useful for further disseminate knowledge in our own communities. Time is definitely over, and I wouldn't like to end this general report without expressing my sincere thanks to everyone who made this conference possible, to the organizers, the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning, and Shanghai Open University, which have persistently worked to orchestrate this conference. To the partners, the UNESCO Multisectoral Regional Office for East Asia, as we know it, UNESCO Beijing, the National Commission of the People's Republic of China for UNESCO, the International Association of Universities, the Chinese Society of Educational Development Strategy, the China Association of Higher Education, and the China Adult Education Association for their support throughout the organization of the event. Of course, to all our speakers and moderators, because they have provided expertise and invaluable insights, enriched our discussions, and guided our process of generating collective knowledge. And of course, to our attendees who have actively participated in all the sessions. And let me say, I haven't been supported by ChatGPT. I have been fully supported by Andrea Olmi, in particular. Andrea is over there, who with contributions from Tanya Zuriski, okay, here you are, thank you, prepared this draft report. So I think that they deserve also our recognition. Just a couple more of sentences. We should leave the Open University of Shanghai enthusiastic about the continued collaboration and the profound impact I'm sure this conference will have on our work promoting lifelong learning in higher education, and maybe, who knows, in our life paths as well, because of the excellent colleagues with whom we had the privilege of exchanging. Thanks to all.
Thank you, Francesc, and then as well the two excellent experts who have helped to draft this report. I think you captured one thing very particularly, and that is this extraordinary transformative power of universities and the potential of universities to actually go the extra mile. And we've heard of many opportunities to do so, and that needs to be explored to the full. So again, this is a crossroads where we can go much further if we work together and also separately in order to move the agenda much further. I would like now to give the floor to Mr. Jia Wei, who's the president of Shanghai Open University, to read a document that was prepared by the organizers and the partners, and also with the contributions of the speakers, and inspired by many of the conversations that took place during these 2 days. So the recommendations will be presented by you.
首先，代表上海开放大学，对于各位专家、各位来宾，光临我们现场来参加闭幕式表示热烈的欢迎。这2天的会议内容非常丰富，不仅让我们看到了世界各国对于终身教育的关心，更看到了我们面临的困难和挑战。会场期间不同的讨论、不同的意见，让我们日益感受到相互理解、相互沟通的重要性。也就是在大家共同的努力下，特别是在联合国教科文组织终身研究所的指导之下，我们对于这次会议形成了一些建议。接下去呢，我代表我们联合国教科文组织研究所和我们开放大学，向大家宣读这份建议。We, the participants in the Conference on Promoting Lifelong Learning in Higher Education, convened from 19 to 21 October 2023 in Shanghai, People's Republic of China, thank the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning and the Shanghai Open University for organizing this event. We gather to take stock of progress made and the challenges faced in advanced lifelong learning in and through higher education to support sustainable development. Recalling the vision for higher education expressed during the third UNESCO World Higher Education Conference in 2022, stating that higher education provision is an activity aimed at favoring equity and equal transparency of opportunities for people of all ages and considering community engagement and social responsibility as an integral part of the mission of higher education, next to teaching and research. Recognizing the principles of lifelong learning as a concept which is rooted in the integration of learning and living, covering learning activities for people of all ages and backgrounds, in all life-wide contexts and through a variety of modalities that together meet a range of learning needs and demands. Aiming to advance policy and practice on the role of the higher education in promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all and in addressing current and future sustainable development challenges. Strengthening our commitment to the UN 2030 Agenda and Sustainable Development Goals, and particular SDG 4, which enjoins countries, stakeholders to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all and a response to the critical challenges that humankind face at this time in history. Recognizing that transforming higher education institutions, including universities, colleges, polytechnics, and technical and vocational education and training institutions at tertiary level into lifelong learning institutions that provide access to learning to diverse groups of learners is key to realizing SDG 4. Considering the need to promote lifelong learning in higher education, the following recommendations should be considered. Higher education institutions should engage with national and local governments to support the development of regulatory frameworks and adequate funding mechanisms that enable and support lifelong learning in and through higher education. Higher education institutions should develop institution-wide approach to lifelong learning based on the principles of equity and inclusion. Building on the three missions of higher education, namely teaching, research, and a wide societal engagement rooted in the humanistic tradition, they should provide learning for a variety of purposes, including for personal development, well-being, work, and life, among others. Higher education institutions should develop a whole institution approach to sustainable development and climate action in all their operations, including through research, teaching, and community engagement activities. Higher education institutions should adapt learning content and modalities and address diverse learning needs, including by digital technologies and artificial intelligence. Higher education institutions should develop and considering the green and digital transitions and the rapid changing labor markets, higher education institutions should provide people with opportunities to develop relevant competence for quiet jobs. In this respect, they should promote work-based learning, reskilling, and upskills programs, and cooperating with private sector stakeholders and employers, establishing flexible learning pathways and mechanisms for the recognition of proper learning are essential to achieve this. Higher education institutions should develop and adapt quality assurance procedures to ensure relevance and effectiveness in the life learning programs. Lecturers, researchers, and practitioners should contribute to community engagement and support academic pluralism, as well as the diversification of curriculum, teaching, and learning practice, assessment, and certification to make learning more relevant to all students, including vulnerable and non-traditional students. Together, we commit to working towards a future in which higher education institutions play a vital role in developing the knowledge, skills, and competencies that needed to ensure healthy, prosperous, and inclusive, sustainable societies and economies. Thank you.
Quite an agenda. You thought you were finished after this? No, it all starts. But I would now like to call to the floor Mr. Raúl Valdés-Cotera, the Chief Program Coordinator ad interim at the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning.
Well, thank you very much. I promise that I will be brief. I just would like really to mention that the conference represents the culmination of a research that we have been conducted together with SOU during the last 3 years in a standing cooperation among the two organizations. The conference, I need to say, was planned to take place 2 years ago. But because of COVID, because of a delay in the research, we couldn't manage very well, but I'm very pleased that we managed to have it today, because we have a lot of results already, and we managed also to bring you on board. So I think it's a big success. I mean, taking this applause, I really would like to congratulate you all for the considerable success of this international conference on promoting lifelong learning in higher education, from institutional strategies to practical implementation. Special thanks to all speakers, moderators who have guided the interest discussions that contribute to our collective knowledge, but also to all attendees who have actively participated in all sessions, debates, dialogues. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to President Jia. Really for his commitment, for his support, but also to the valuable team of Shanghai Open University for organizing this important event. And I can go one by one, Mrs. Jan, Wendy, Tracy, Catherine, I mean, but a lot of people behind us. That in a way gave us a chance to explore how higher education can advance lifelong learning. And we're thankful for your efforts to create this common space of dialogue that was able to bring a diversity of voices and ideas together with the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning. And on this one, I would like to give a special also thanks to our lead person, the director of the Institute, Mr. Boren Shakrun. Big applause. Because even if it has been a short period at UL, he has been supporting, trusting the process, and we have been feeling as a team the support. Special thanks also to my colleagues Mo and Edith for accompanying this process. Thank you very much. Well, special thanks to all partners. Thank you for making this happen. And I would like to mention once again the UNESCO Multisectoral Regional Office for East Asia, the National Commission of the People's Republic of China for UNESCO, the International Association of Universities with Heilige in the front, really helping in all the process. Thank you. China Adult Education Association for the support throughout the organization of the event. Our conference on the role of higher education institution in promoting lifelong learning has been a journey of insights and collaborative thinking, aiming to further advance policy and practice, exchange views on crucial issues, and ultimately reshape the future of education and global progress. I sincerely hope that our fruitful dialogue during the conference will continue long in the future as we strive to make lifelong learning a reality for all. It is truly an honor to pursue this crucial mission in partnership with you all, to pave the way for a more inclusive, sustainable future by tackling the world's most pressing challenges together, today, tomorrow, and into the future. Thank you once again. Wish you all a nice stay in Shanghai and a safe trip back. Thank you very much.
In these nice presentations, I must admit that my last words would be a bit redundant, but yet I need to say them because I would also like, on behalf of the International Association of Universities, represented here by Andrew Dix, the president and vice president of Murdoch University and the president of the IAU, to Heina Gerib, the rector of La Manouba in Tunisia, and vice president of the International Association of Universities, Domenica Sunungurai, who's the president and rector of Women's University in Zimbabwe, and myself. I would really like to thank this beautiful partnership that was possible thanks to the organizers who opened the door to the partnerships, actually. So a big thank you to Shanghai Open University for an extraordinary hosting, for the staff, for the support staff, for everybody who have made our life so easy these days and comfortable, and also offering us a unique opportunity to come back to China. For me, it's had been 19 years since I last was in the country, prevented from coming also due to COVID, and very pleased to be finally back in the country and have the opportunity to liaise with many people who I'm sure will become friends as well. In the work that we do together in shaping a better future for the many in society at large. So Shanghai Open University, a very big thank you. And to the UNESCO Institute of Lifelong Learning, also in times of change, you've changed director, you've changed many people, and you've been able to sail the ship in the right direction all the way through a project and an initiative that is actually only calling for much more to come. And I would like to congratulate you on the big journey that we were part of in part, especially through the global survey, but you've carried the project together with SOU much, much further. And I think this was really an opportunity here to see how the field of lifelong learning has transformed over time. I think COVID has also pushed the whole lifelong learning initiative in a new direction. And as I said in a previous session, I think there are also new connections with open and distance learning that definitely will allow for many, many more people to benefit from the opportunities offered by higher education. And I also would like to thank the partners because they cannot be mentioned enough. Because without the National Commission of the People's Republic of China for UNESCO, the international community around higher education that you all represent as participants, as speakers, as facilitators, the UNESCO Multi-Sectoral Regional Office for East Asia, the UNESCO Beijing Office, the Chinese Society of Educational Development Strategy, the China Association of Higher Education, the China Adult Education Association. All of this would not have been possible, and we want to thank you for having organized this together. So I really hope that this is certainly a broad avenue for future cooperation on the important issues that are laid out also in the recommendations, to better understand the differences around the world and how the diversity of approaches to the lifelong learning dimensions of what higher education can offer will be better understood in the future, how we will be able to connect the different examples, keep the richness of this diversity, yet also benefiting from new opportunities to learn from each other moving into the future. Because we've heard about countries that are very far ahead, like China, for instance, or Nordic countries in Europe, or some parts of Latin America, some parts in Africa. But there are also countries that are just only starting to embark on this big journey, which is a real opportunity for the many to come on board and benefit from the opportunities to engage in agendas that are absolutely key if we want to have a better world for the many. So I think since this is a journey and also kind of sailing opportunity, I'm pleased that tonight we will also go onto a boat and visit some beauty parts of the city. And thank you again for the organizers here in Shanghai for organizing even that. So my last thank will go to the fantastic helpers for assisting us all along, getting us back into the rooms and out of the rooms, also to stretch legs and have nice coffee and opportunities to chat. I look forward to next time, and I hope it will not take me 19 years. Thank you.